So Marathon was officially revealed, not just, announced, but actually revealed this past weekend. And the internet has a lot of thoughts. It's very, very mixed opinions when you look on Twitter and forums and Discord and literally just anywhere on the internet. People have very different opinions on what they think of Marathon. So I've been taking some time to collect my thoughts, my experience consuming all of these things, looking into Marathon myself, not just hearing other people's thoughts from their play sessions or for their reactions from the reveal stream, but really putting together my own perspective of this game as somebody who's played almost every Bungie game. I mean, modern Bungie game. I've played all the Halo games. I've played Destiny 1 for 2,000 hours, I think. Destiny 1 for a very considerable amount of time as well. I've played Bungie games. I have been in this sphere for a long time. I haven't played Destiny 2 for a long time, though. I'm talking years. I played the Final Shape, the campaign, but that's as far as I got. So my point is this. I have come up with my own perspective of what I think about Marathon, which I beckon all of you to do the same, because it can be very easy to have your perspective change based off of how other people are talking about it. So here's the thing. I'll give you a quick TLDR if you're not aware of Marathon. I feel like the whole internet is aware of it, but quick TLDR. It's a brand new shooter game coming from Bungie this year, September 23rd, 2025, which coincidentally is the exact same day that Borderlands 4 is releasing. So no doubt, I think one of those games is going to change release dates. It has to be that case. But with that being said, it's a brand new shooter game from Bungie, and it is an extraction shooter, kind of like Escape from Tarkov, or I think Delta Force is a similar game, which is a very different game than Bungie has made in the past. Obviously, they revolutionized the shooter on console with Halo back in 2001 with Halo Combat Evolved, and then they brought sort of the MMO light experience to console and to the shooter space with Destiny all the way back in 2014, I think is when that game originally launched, was 2014. And then obviously Destiny 2 took that baton, and now it's very much like an MMO on console and PC. But this is a brand new game, a brand new style of game for Bungie, but it's not a brand new IP. Actually, the IP is from a series of games, a trio of games that they released back in the 90s on Mac, actually. It's a whole series called Marathon. Marathon 1, 2, and then the third game was actually called Marathon Infinity, I believe. And this is the old style shooter game on Mac. But the interesting thing is that there's a lot, and I mean a lot of lore that is involved in the Marathon story. And when you really dig deep, there's a lot of cross-references with Halo, Destiny, and Marathon. So from that perspective, this is very interesting. So a lot of that being said, that's what Marathon is. It's sort of an arcadey take on an extraction shooter developed by Bungie. So from what I can understand, I could be wrong about this, but I think that this is the first real AAA extraction shooter experience minus DMZ. DMZ was obviously AAA, Call of Duty. I think a lot of people can say that their support and development for DMZ was not at all the main focus from Sledgehammer, I think, at the time in Infinity Ward. So when I say this, I really do believe that this is going to be probably the first real AAA extraction shooter focused experience on the market, which to me is very interesting. And especially considering it's coming from Bungie, that also interests me greatly. So with the preface out of the way, here's my thoughts. I really love the art style of this game. I think it is incredibly unique. I've seen people say, oh, it looks like Roblox. Sure, if you just look at it glancing, sure, I'm sure you can make that argument for sure, because it's basically saying, Roblox is very basic colors with not a lot of texture, and that's kind of what Marathon is as well. For sure, on the surface, absolutely. But if you look into it deeper, it's way more than that. This is a artistic style for Marathon that is really, really interesting when you consider the time setting. It's like in the 2893, I think, is the year of this game. It's in this futuristic sci-fi world where like these humans from Earth are logging into these AI bodies that are going to try and loot this cataclysmic event-ending location of Tau City 4. I absolutely love the art style. It's unique, it's clean, it's different. It's not, super milsim. It's different, man. And honestly, I like it. I think that we need something like that in the market nowadays. A couple of things that I really like on top of that. I really love the vibe that they have going on with this game. The setting, like I said, the futuristic sci-fi thing that they have going on is really intriguing to me. And now that I've looked into the lore of Marathon, it really gets me even more interested. But the gameplay looks solid. I will say the first gameplay trailer that they showed off at the reveal, it was not the best. I don't know why they chose to lead with that, because that was not the best lead that they could have done. The showcase of gameplay, it was a poor decision to use that one, because the subsequent gameplay that we got from creators afterwards, far and away, so much more superior to what they showed us at the beginning of the reveal. So take that as you will. But seeing the gameplay from the creators, from the folks that were able to record in the creator showcases and stuff, the gameplay looks really, really interesting. The gunplay looks awesome. I'm really excited about getting into, because I've never played an extraction shooter before. I'll keep that in mind. I've never played an extraction shooter. I've played BRs and stuff, which has similar-ish elements to it. It's not the same thing, but it's similar. But I've never played an extraction shooter, mainly because when I look at a game like Tarkov, to be honest with you, it looks boring. It looks really, really boring. And if you're a Tarkov player, more power to you. I'm not saying this to negate your experience. For me, it looks boring to me, and therefore I do not want to play it. But this game looks a little bit more, I don't know, fast-paced and interesting elements. Also, that, like I said, the art style really intrigues me. So, frankly, for me, I'm actually excited to try out what Bungie's take on a extraction shooter is. A few things that are negative, there's no proximity voice chat in the game. Now, they've said that they're not vehemently against it, but they really want to find a way to do it where it can be safe for individuals, which my take on that is, if you're going to make a PvP game, it's not going to be safe for people. You're already making the alpha 18 plus. Come on, just open it up, make it an option, make it be disabled by default and have us enable it or something. Just give us the option. I think that's one area that they might flip-flop on by the time the game actually gets released. I feel like it's going to have to be in there. Come on. You got to have proximity voice chat. You pioneered that with Halo. Come on, dude. So that's my thoughts on that. But I don't know, man. I honestly can't get enough of it. The more I look into this game online, the more I'm like, man, I really wish I was playing it right now. And hopefully I'm able to get into the alpha here in about a week or so. But there's a lot of things that could be problematic with the game, for sure. But I can tell you one thing that is going to be true. Absolutely. This game's going to get support. It's Bungie. This isn't a situation where people are saying, oh, it's Concord 2.0. By the way, it's one of the most brain-dead arguments I could ever even see. It's not even an argument. It's just somebody spewing ridiculousness that has absolutely no basis of understanding whatsoever. Come on, dude. Completely different situation. Concord was from a brand new studio that Sony created, and they had absolutely no good showing of the game whatsoever, and they launched it, and it literally made dollars in terms of sales, so then they shut it down. This is Bungie. Just simply from the fact that it's Bungie, it's gonna sell. Now, will people stick into the game? Will they continue playing? That'll be the question, but the game's gonna sell, which therefore means that they're going to support the game for at least some form of period of time. You got to remember back to when Destiny launched. Destiny had an immense amount of hype. People were jacked out of their minds to play it. They bought Destiny, they played it, they realized that it wasn't exactly what they thought. The story really wasn't there. There wasn't a ton of content, and a lot of people left. But two things happened. Number one, Bungie stuck with the game. They continued to update, they continued to listen, they continued to add content. And then when The Taken King came out, the game really hit its stride, and it had a lot of really amazing elements. But the second thing that happened is the people that did play the game, they understood that the gameplay itself was amazing and it felt really, really good. And a really strong community developed for that game, and it spawned into 10 plus years of Destiny at this point. I strongly feel like that same sort of situation is going to happen with Marathon. Even if Marathon launches and it doesn't have the most incredible amount of content on release, it's going to get supported and it's going to hit its stride at some point. And to me, that's an exciting thing, because also when we talk about the cost of this game, they have confirmed that it's not going to be a full price release. So it's not going to be $70, $80, but it's also not going to be free to play, which to me basically confirms it's going to be a $40 release, which for those people spewing the Concord thing, like, oh, a $40 game with no story, it's going to bomb like Concord. What about Helldivers 2? Another Sony game, launched without a story, $40, super successful. Like, come on, just use your brain for half a second. It's really not that hard. But anyways, I digress. My perspective is, I think that Marathon 100% has a future, has a strong potential future. Now, where it lands on that range, we'll find out. You know, it might just have a loyal, strong, but kind of smaller community, or it could really be large. In my opinion, I personally believe that this game is going to bring the extraction shooter to the masses. And what I mean by that is, you know, Bungie took the MMO Lite experience that didn't really exist on consoles before Destiny, and they brought it to a brand new audience and created a whole new genre based off of that. With Marathon, obviously extraction shooters exist and Tarkov is very popular, but this is expanding into the console market and is coming from a AAA experience where you're going to have a wide range of players that are going to be exposed to an extraction shooter and to Marathon with this new game from Bungie. I think that is the boon that Bungie has going for them here. Even if they didn't necessarily do the best with the reveal, because I don't think that the reveal was the best it could have been. I think they shot themselves in the foot in a couple of different areas. On the flip side, though, the ARG leading up to the reveal was phenomenal. So there's a lot of different things moving on here. There's a lot of points of good or bad, but my dimmed down thoughts are that I'm extremely excited. I'm actually way more excited for the game after the reveal than I was before the reveal. I really wasn't, I mean, I was interested, but I wasn't like hyped or anything for Marathon before. I was interested because it was a Bungie game and the art style looked really interesting to me. But outside of that, I wasn't really that interested because it was an extraction shooter. I'm like, I don't know if I'm really going to like it. After the reveal, after reading into, looking into the lore, watching the creators' perspectives, getting a wide breadth of perspective on the game, I'm really excited to get my hands on it. I wish the game was like out now. You know what I mean? Like I'm actually very, very excited for Marathon, and I'm curious to see what updates and changes they put into place based off of player feedback in the alpha and leading up to launch. I think that we could be seriously looking down the barrel of another industry-defining game from Bungie. And I'm not glazing. This is my genuine perspective on what I think can be done with Marathon moving forward. So those are my thoughts. I'm excited. I'm going to be talking about Marathon more on this channel moving forward. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on Marathon in the comments. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video.